Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Tyke, if you didn't already know that. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today is something that happens to most of us, all of us. If it's never happened to you, maybe this is some tips for a friend or a family member that's going through it. But I want to talk about things like getting fired. So, okay, the reason we're talking about this today is that you got fired, laid off, terminated, canned, let go, parted ways, outsourced. Now what? Well, the thing that I think you want to take away from this is that you're going to be okay. Losing your job, being terminated, laid off, outsourced isn't the end of the world. And I've got some things that I've experienced as well as friends and family of mine that they've went through that I want to share with you. And before we're done today, I think we'll give you a good way to start and get out of that gate and start new. So a little bit about what happened to me. A few months ago, I went to work. It was a normal day at work, and I was asked to come in early, which I didn't think was a great sign in the first place. And an hour later, I was home and unemployed. It really doesn't matter why, but I will be transparent and tell you, I had a disagreement with my supervisors about what the best course of action was to satisfy a customer. We agreed to disagree. I stuck to my decision and they stuck to theirs, and we felt it best if we just parted ways. So at 63 years old, I was out of a job. And I can tell you, it hasn't happened to me very often in my career. I've only been let go one other time. And, but it's something that you see, and it's happened to a lot of people, a lot more than it happened to me. But what do you do now? So now what? So here's some things to think about. First and foremost, take a breath. Don't panic. Don't commiserate over it. It's a job. There's a lot of other jobs out there. Okay, so take a breath. Breathe. Get some composure. Take a nap. But don't take it too personally. One thing that helped me is you have to mourn a little bit, right? Because I was only at this role a couple of years, but you leave relationships, you leave people that were at least work friends, other residual relationships that come in and out of your business, and all of a sudden you're not in that business anymore. So take a little bit of time to mourn. It's a loss, right? And we take losses personally as human beings. But one thing that also helped me is to remember this: it's just business, right? Inasmuch as it's your right to have quit, inasmuch as it was your right to leave another job, chances are you left another job to take the job you have. It's their right to let people go. They make a decision. You may not think it's the best decision. Some of your former coworkers may not think it's the best decision, but for them, it was the best decision. It's usually almost never personal. So one thing to take away from this that I want you to really focus on is do not take it personal. It's rarely personal at all. So just keep in mind, now what? Take a breath. Mourn the loss. Think about it this way. It's a business decision, right? And do not take it personal. And that will help you. So, and that's the purpose of this. I wanted to talk to people about my experiences because I know it's a hard thing to go through. And it doesn't get any better when you're 63 years old and close to retirement. So, what to do next? Well, I think of things like this. You can either act or be acted upon. Now, I will tell you that a majority of the positions I've had, I've determined when I left. I determined when I was leaving the industry, leaving a job, leaving a position, and I set the standards for that. And that's very empowering. And it makes you feel like you have control over your career. This is no different. You still have control over your career. If you decide to continue to work later in life, it's on you. Think of all the experiences you took away from that position. Think of all the relationships. Think of the networks. But think about it this way. Do not allow yourself to be acted upon. Don't become a leaf in the wind and to be blown here and there. And think about the experiences and things that you can take away. Now, one thing that helped me is within a few days, I started making some lists of assets. Now, assets can be professional and they can also be financial, right? So do you have to go to work right away? If you do, what type of things do you need to do to be prepared to go back into the workforce, right? But don't sell yourself short just because somebody let you go. A guy that I came good friends with when I was at this previous position walked into my office the day after he got fired from a position that he'd been at for 10 years. And he came in, he was upset. He said, I don't know if you want to hire me or not, I just got fired. And I said, well, tell me more. And I hired him and he did a great job and still doing a great job there. He was so worried that just because he was fired, he was no longer marketable, that I said, no, I can see that you've got some assets. You're a valuable individual and your experiences, I want your experiences. So think of it that way. Think of it as people want you. They want an experienced, tenured employee that has a variety of backgrounds that they can put to work. So make some lists of some positive things. I call it the Ben Franklin. Here's your positives, here's your negatives. I promise you, as you start listing these positives, there won't be very many negatives to put over here. And usually the negatives are pretty easy to fix. Maybe it's a new resume, new updated resume. Maybe it's a skill. Maybe it's something you want to learn more. But I can promise you, if you've been in the workforce for a while, you're a marketable person and people want you. So again, don't worry too much about it. Get your morning over with. Be positive. Your attitude will sell you every day of the week. A positive attitude will outgun any type of experience, any type of professionalism, any kind of licensing. People want to work with people that have good attitudes. If you come in with a good attitude, your next employer or what your next endeavor is, maybe you're not going to go back to work for somebody, maybe you're going to work for yourself. And we'll talk about those opportunities later. But take what you've got, make that positive and negative list, take care of things that need to be taken care of. Don't wait around, act, don't be acted upon, whatever those might be. And if you have any questions, any comments, please put them in the comment section. I'm going to answer every one of them. And I want you to know this, it's going to be okay. My dad retired when he was almost 70 years old. He farmed all his life. And somebody asked him right as he had retired, what's it like being retired? And he said, well, it's like getting put out to pasture without a fence. There's no fences, there's no limits. Stay positive, start acting, and don't be acted upon. And I'll see you in the next video.